Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Hello, my name is Kofi, also known as Old Kof or Teacher Kofi. Welcome to Piano Time. Yeah, in this video, we'll still focus on the idea of chords. It looks like a whole lot of misconceptions are out there and people are a bit confused. And so stay tuned as I walk you through in a systematic way. Now, back to the keyboard. Let's consider key C with our left hand. We want to firstly address the term known as interval. Interval, good. Now, an interval is simply the space between two notes or 2 points. And so we want to consider C in relation to all the other keys. Obviously, we could have chosen another key, but let's maintain C. Good. So we want to understand the relationship C has with all the keys, and we are not going to skip any note. In other words, we are going to use the chromatic approach. And chromatic is simply this: to play all the notes without skipping any of them. Good. And you realize that I ended on C. So we are considering just within an octave. And then we'll move on further. Good. So we want to know the relationship C has with C sharp. Between C and C sharp is considered as a minor second relationship. Now, if we move up, we go to D. Between C and D is considered as a major second relationship. Major second relationship. Between C and E flat or D sharp is considered as minor third relationship. Between C and E is considered as a major third relationship. Between C and F is considered as a perfect fourth relationship. Between C and F sharp or G flat is considered as an added fourth relationship. Between C and G is considered as a perfect fifth relationship. Let me quickly chip in this. Now, this added fourth is sometimes referred to as flatted fifth relationship. Why? Because when you're on 5 and you go back, just like the way we learned about keys, when you go back, we flatten this particular thing, and so it becomes a flatted fifth relationship. Good. So added fourth or flatted fifth. And another term also used is tritone. Tritone. Good. So this is perfect fifth. And then when we go up, this is G sharp or A flat. And it's known as the added fifth or flatted sixth relationship. Just like what we did with the fourth. Good. And then C, between C and A, is considered as a sixth relationship. Sixth relationship. And then let's move on further. This is C and B flat, which is dominant seventh relationship or seventh relationship. Good. Please observe the names. Between C and B is considered as a major seventh relationship. Major seventh relationship. Now, between C and C is considered as an octave relationship. Before we go further, I want to recap what we just did. So we have one, but we have two kinds of two. We have a minor and then a major two. Good. Two kinds of three, minor and then major. And then two kinds of four. We have the perfect and then added. Two kinds of 5. We have the perfect and then added. Then we have only 1/6. Good, which is this. And then we have two kinds of 7, which is dominant seventh or seventh and then major seventh. Please, let's try that quickly on another key. I mean, we could have chosen another key to demonstrate this. Let's use F sharp. So assuming F sharp is 1. Between F sharp and G is a minor second relationship. Between F sharp and A flat or G sharp is a major second relationship. Between F sharp and then A is a minor third relationship. Between F sharp and B flat or A sharp is a major third relationship. Between F sharp and B is a perfect fourth relationship. Between F sharp and C is an added fourth relationship. Between F sharp and C sharp is a perfect fifth relationship. Between F sharp and D is an added fifth relationship. Between F sharp and E flat or D sharp is a sixth relationship. Between F sharp and E is a dominant seventh or seventh relationship. Between F sharp and F is a major seventh relationship. Between F sharp and then F sharp is an octave. So it's still applicable on any key that you choose. Good. Now let's get back to C. Now we want to move beyond one octave. Now when we move beyond one octave, some of the names change. Or let me put it this way, all the names change, but some are still maintained. Okay, good. So obviously this is 8, and then we have to go to a particular 9. Okay. Now the minor second now becomes a flatted ninth when we go beyond one octave. So this is considered a flatted ninth. And then the major second here now becomes 9 or ninth. And then the minor third becomes added ninth. It becomes added ninth. So if you realize or if you observe, there are 3 kinds of 9. We have the flatted, we have the 9 itself, and then we have the added. Good. And then this is 10. The third becomes 10, but we still maintain the term third. Good. That's one thing I want you to consider or observe. And then we go to 11th. The fourth becomes 11th. And then added fourth becomes added 11th. And then the perfect fifth becomes 12th. But we still maintain the term fifth. Good. Though in principle we could have maintained what? 12. But everywhere we use the term fifth. Good. And then the added fifth becomes flatted 13th. Flatted 13th. So this is what I want you to consider. This is the 13th itself. The 6th becomes 13th. But you realize that if you flatten the 13th, it becomes a flatted 13th. Good. Just like the demonstration I gave with the 5th. Okay. This is 6th, but then when you flatten it, it becomes flatted 6th. Good. Which is the same as added 5th. That same principle is adopted here. The 13th, if you go back, if you go towards the left direction, you flatten it and it becomes flatted 13th. And so this is the 13th itself. And then moving further, the 7th becomes 14th, but we still maintain the term 7th or dominant 7th. And then we have the 14th here. The major 7th is 14, but we still maintain major 7th. And then we could have said 15, but we still maintain octave. Good. So this is what describes the relationships beyond one octave. Please feel free to demonstrate that on the rest of the keys. I mean, once you understand the concept, the theory, you should be able to do that everywhere. And so if I choose a key and I'm asked to create a minor third relationship, I should be able to do that. This is C sharp. A minor third relationship in C sharp will be E, because from here to here is a minor second to major second and then to minor third. And if I'm asked to create a major third, obviously it will be F. So you can please choose any key and demonstrate that. If I choose F sharp and I'm asked to point out a major seventh, I should be able to do that, which is this. Good. If I pick another key, D, and I'm asked to point a sixth relationship, obviously it should be this, which is B. So it's applicable on all the keys once you understand the principles. Good. Now let's go back to the major triad. We are going to just focus on the major triad. Great. Now this is C major triad. Now we can decide to put a third on top of this particular triad. Now you realize that there are 2 kinds of thirds. There's the minor third and then the major third. And so let's consider just the major third. If you are considering the major third, obviously we can quickly count 1, 2, 3, 4. From here to this particular one is a minor second, major second, minor third, and then major third. So you can either count quickly from your point, from this particular point, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you are there. If it's a minor, it's just 3, 1, 2, 3. But we are considering the major. Good. So this is what is termed as C major seventh. If we just add a major third to this particular triad, we get C major seventh. C major seventh. Let's still add another major third. 1, 2, 3, 4. This gives us C major seventh added ninth. You know, it goes beyond 1 octave. And so now we'll use terms like added ninth. Good. Now let's add another major third from this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is this particular note, which brings us back to the fifth. And so there's no point in adding major thirds because that's the extent to which we can go. Good. So let's quickly do a triad with stacks of a minor third. Good. This is C triad. Let's add a minor third. 1, 2, 3. This is what is termed a dominant seventh chord. Let's add another minor third to this particular one. 1, 2, 3. Now this is known as C seventh flatted ninth because it goes beyond 1 octave. Flatted ninth. C seventh flatted ninth. Or C dominant seventh flatted ninth. Now let's add another minor third, which is 1, 2, 3. It brings us back to the E, which is a third. So there's no point in extending them further. Good. Now let me quickly do a blend. Okay, good. Now this is C triad. Let's start with a blend of a major third first. This is C major seventh. Let's add a minor third. 1, 2, 3. This becomes C major ninth. C major ninth. Good. Please note how I pronounce the names. Observe how I pronounce the names. Yeah, so this is simply C major ninth. C major ninth. You realize that I'm ignoring pronouncing the major seventh. Once the 9 comes, you don't have to pronounce the major seventh again. So this is one thing I want you to observe. Let me add a major third on top of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this is what is termed C major ninth added 11th. Why? Because we go beyond 1 octave, and then this is 11. This is added 11th. So this is C major ninth added 11th. Now, let me add another minor third to this particular one. 1, 2, 3. So this is termed as C major ninth added 11th and 13th. It's more like a slash chord. A slash chord. A slash chord is simply a chord which has 2 different keys. So if I play C and I play D, I'm playing what is termed as a slash chord. Another term is also play a chord without its root note, like this. So a slash chord in its basic terms is 2 different chords or 2 different keys. Good. So this is where we get to C major ninth, added 11th, and then 13th. If we add another minor chord, we can add another major third to it, which is this. So we are delving into slash chords more. I think we'll end here for the beginners. Yeah. Now let's consider playing a minor third and then a major. Good. This is C seventh or C dominant seventh. Let's add a major third to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what is referred to as C ninth or C dominant ninth. C ninth. This is the term used, C ninth. You realize that I ignored the term seventh. I don't need to pronounce that anymore because there's the evidence of 9 here. So we ignore the seventh. And then let me add a minor third on top of this particular one. 1, 2, 3. This is known as C 11th. Now you realize that I've also ignored the term 9. So C 11th. You don't need to pronounce 9 again. You just straight away pronounce C 11th. Let's add a major third on top of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is C 13th. You realize that I've also ignored the 11th. I don't pronounce the 11th again. So this is what is referred to as C 13th. C 13th. Now when we add, we go beyond another octave, which is not needed now. Good. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. All that you need to do is to keep on practicing. At least 30 minutes or an hour a day will do. If you need further clarifications on all the things I've shared with you in the beginner's course, please hit me on the numbers below the screen. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and also like. This is where we draw the curtain. Enjoy. God bless you.